information, visit our website www.ufaa.go.ke/holders or contact us through holders@ufaa.go.ke or call us on 020 402 3000. Surrender unclaimed financial assets today and avoid the last-minute rush. Do not wait for the June 30th, 2023 deadline. For more information, visit our website www.ufaa.go.ke/holders or contact us through holders@ufaa.go.ke or call us on 020 402 3000.
A very good afternoon to you and welcome to KBC Channel 1 Television's live broadcast of the ongoing 2023 WRC Safari Rally Kenya edition. My name is Tiras Wayaki. If you are joining us right now, we were on earlier in the morning and we discussed quite a bit, but it's never too late. Welcome aboard. We'll be taking you to Naivasha for another live feed of the rallying over there in about an hour or so's time. But right now, what we'll get down to is proper analysis. I'm joined here in studio by a navigator, a rallying navigator himself, believe it or not. Kego Karidhi is very experienced in the world of rallying. You may know him from the world of biking as well. He's been a biker. Kego, welcome aboard. We're with you in the morning. Let's go on.
Thank you.
Till early evening. So I hope you've had a nice heavy lunch and you're geared to go.
Yes, asante.
Welcome aboard. Good. And the now familiar face, especially for the younger generation, this guy is a veteran broadcaster, if you didn't know. His name is Daudi Kanja. Your parents or your grandparents may remember the name or the face, the voice perhaps. That is him, Daudi Kanja. We're with him since yesterday and we did the morning session together. Now we're on for the afternoon and into early evening. Daudi, welcome aboard.
We're ready. We're ready for everything, for the whole hog.
You're ready for the whole hog. He's got a lot of experience in safari rally coverage, so you're in pretty much safe hands. I think the best thing to do now that the live feed is going to take us in an hour or so's time to something that's already ongoing, and it's been ongoing since morning, and that's the WRC top tier rallying itself. In the afternoon, the Kenya National Rally Championship will resume from yesterday, and we explained in our morning session pretty much how that fits into the bigger picture of the WRC. Let's start. First things first. Heads up, update. Is there much change from what we discussed in the morning in terms of hierarchy? Who's on course to win, who's on course to finish second, who's on course to finish third on this day 3?
Okay, up to the first service of the day, and that was after stage 10, which was Sleeping Warrior 1 for today. The results were as follows. Sebastian Oje was first. 22 seconds behind him was Kalero Vampera. Another about 20 seconds behind him was Esapeka Lapi. Another about a minute was behind him was Elfin Evans. Another minute behind him is Katsuta. And then we have Danny Soda, we have Ot Tanak, we have Pierre Lube, and we have Kajetanovic, and we have G Munster for the top 10, basically. So the big change there is Esapeka has leapfrogged Evans. We hear Evans' car had a problem in the river crossing. This is a problem they had in Italy, the Toyotas. They seem to have been a bit allergic to the water. Very lucky the other Toyotas didn't suffer this, but apparently when Evans went into the water, and I read a story saying that he says that he was very slow. He remembers what happened in Italy, but still the car went off, started for a few seconds, and this enabled Lapi to overtake him. Otherwise, the standings are the same.
Pretty much, eh?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Daudi, yesterday the weatherman predicted that there'll be some showers in Naivasha, and apparently it did not rain during the day when the rally is taking place. It rained at night when the rally isn't taking place. Do you think this has sort of had an impact
Absolutely.
on the rallying so far?
Absolutely. I remember Julian Porter, the WRC, committed to saying that the rains were going to come anytime. And of course now it did rain at night. And this is actually what has created that mudbath around the Sleeping Warrior and Soisambu. And with the Esabeka Lapi, who is actually doing a Hyundai, a very good driver, this is actually his debut. You see now he's frog-ripped Elvin Evans, because we are told Elvin Evans' Toyota was able to kind of like splash into water, and once they splash into water, those hybrid cars, they kind of temporarily stop, and of course then restart. And that stoppage, which could end up to 5 seconds, 3 seconds, that's why you see right now Esabeka Lapi is behind Khalil of Mbera for 9.7 seconds behind the second leader in this particular event right now.
Otto Tanak, he led on the first day based on points, Kasarani section, courtesy of that. He was world champion WRC 2019, and he's won pretty much everything that there is to win in the WRC circuit, apart from the Safari Rally. Do you think this piles up the pressure on him, or is he just going to play with experience? What goes through a rally driver's mind and his navigator when push comes to shove?
Otto Tanak is lying in 7th, and he's actually just about 4.5 minutes behind. This is Safari. If you think about it, 4 minutes is nothing. Somebody could stop with a puncture, with maybe something else, and your 4 minutes evaporates. So he is in 7th place, which seems to be very far away. But you never know. After today's rally, we'll be able to get a better picture of what's going to happen. But of course, it will be pressure on him. He needs to collect the points. He's a bit disappointed maybe with the performance of his car. He's had some issues with the tires. He's had some, I think, electrical issues. But I mean, he showed us on the Super Special at Kasarani that he has the pace. And I assure you, I saw him in Kedong on Friday, and he was one of the guys who you could tell, even if you didn't know anything about rally, that car was the pedal was at the metal, basically.
Kanja, that's your favorite to win, Tanak, isn't it?
Otto Tanak is actually usually my favorite. That young man from Estonia, like you said, 2019 WRC champion, and of course last year he was doing Hyundai, and then of course he moved to Ford Puma. And that's why he was able even to take one of the fixtures this year. It's still too early to kind of like say he's not there. He's one guy, when he gets even to the interview point, control points, he speaks less and lets the driving speak for itself.
Let's not forget, he also went and saw our own Shuja, Eliud Kipchoge,
yes.
And he must have been given some few pointers on how to win this. So he's not yet out. I don't think he's out.
Yes, so when you say he's 4 minutes behind, just for the person that's following us on television, is that 4 minutes behind the leader,
yes.
the main leader, or 4 minutes behind the person he's actually following?
4 minutes behind the main leader. So from car number 1 up to 7 is divided only by 4 minutes. So top 2 cars are in the same minute.
Yes.
The one behind that is about a minute behind. So
the fact that there's other drivers in between, does that not complicate the equation? Because, okay, fine, the top driver, in this case Sebastian Ogier, may have a mechanical fault, God forbid, but okay. But there's these other ones. There's no way on earth, surely, even if the gods are smiling at you, that all these other cars before you can experience a mechanical problem or another. How, I mean, what are his chances?
You know, OG on the second stage, the first stage of Friday, actually said he was driving slowly. And when he came to the end, he was 7 minutes faster than everybody else. If you collect 7 minutes on this 1 or 2 stages, you can be fast very easily. You can be fast. Remember, a lot of people are also trying to nurse their cars back to the end. A lot of people are not going to be really giving it. And so anything can happen. He's not, I wouldn't count him out at this point.
And just to add on to that, actually,
please do.
Rallying is tactical. It's not pushing your car to the limit, such that you're always the leader at the top there. It's taking care of your car, care of your tires, and care of your dampers. Because actually that is what brought Thierry Neuville into the main competition now. Because either he must have driven so fast, and one of the dampers really went off, and he ended up losing several minutes. So even 4 minutes, it could be very humongous, but anything can happen. it's still a short period of time.
Okay. You mentioned earlier, but on this session, Kego, that is it Toyota that have a problem? They've had a problem this year when it's rained.
In Sardinia.
What sort of, is it a mechanical problem?
As the cars were hitting the water in Sardinia, they were all cutting out. So they didn't say what the issue was. You know, sometimes these teams like to be quite secretive. They're not going to tell you exactly what the issue is. But all the Toyotas without fail were hitting water and stuttering. And that stuttering, you know, is 3 seconds. If you have 3 water jumps, that's what, you know, 9, almost 10 seconds. So it was something that was worrying. And the report I have seen is that when that happened to Elfin this morning, the Toyota guys were a bit worried because they were like, if it's going to start happening now, then we might have a problem because as we've heard, Soisambu has rained, Sleeping Warrior has rained, there's a lot of big mud baths, but it only happened to Evans. Maybe the other cars, they approach the water jumps in a different way. And these are all the variables that make the safari so unpredictable.
But why this certain brand of car having this particular brand?
The hybrid.
Hybrid?
Not just the hybrid, Toyota in particular.
Yes.
Because in fact, the reasons the Hyundais did so well in the last event is because they didn't have any of that problem. And it seems, and as I was watching the video, you could actually see as the car was hitting the water, the Hyundais was splashing the water out, as opposed to the Toyota was splashing the car up, and for a moment you couldn't see the car.
So is that a manufacturing issue?
Well,
the way the vehicle
maybe
is
a
built.
design, maybe how the spoiler in the front is.
Yes.
They'd have to figure it out. But you could definitely see that the Hyundais and the Toyotas were hitting the water, and there were very different results. The Toyotas were, you know, wipers on. The Hyundais were hitting the water, and the splashing was going out. So whether they were hitting them faster or something, but definitely the water was affecting the Toyotas.
And I remember also in the rallies in Kenya where it rained heavily.
Yeah.
Otitanak had the same problem. He splashed into water and he temporarily stopped for several seconds. Yeah. And of course later on, after that rain, those cars started hitting the pool of water sideways instead of direct. It was actually affecting the hybrid system kidogo, but then immediately after 2-3 seconds, the car starts and then they zoom off.
Yeah.
Wow. It's time for you to zoom on to our Facebook page. That's the KBC Channel 1 TV Facebook page. There's a quiz question. Remember how we asked them during the World Cup last November, December? Yes. You stand a chance to win 1,000 Kenya shillings. If you answer this simple question correctly, in which town here in Kenya is the WRC Safari Rally being held? In which town here in Kenya is the WRC Safari Rally currently being held? This particular edition, this one of 2023. Go to our Facebook page, that's the KBC Channel 1 Facebook page. Tell us your answer. Also, would like to know where you're watching us from. Let us know alongside your answer and your registered, the one that's got your name, the one that appear on your national identity card, phone number, your registered phone number. Not your ID number, but your registered phone number. We'd like to hear from you. In which town is the current WRC Safari Rally being held? Go to our KBC Channel 1 Facebook page. You stand a chance to win 1,000 Kenya shillings. Drop off the answer, drop off your mobile phone number, and let us also know where you are watching us from. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. In fact, I almost gave away the answer. Keko, earlier on you said, now that we have discussed the particular brand of vehicle that's having or seems to be having a problem with water, we're not sure 100%, but we are sort of having our eyebrows raised because it happened in the previous rally this year, calendar year, and it's also happened now. And you said that rallying is also used for research and development for vehicle manufacturers. It's a science, more or less. Do you want to further expound on that so that the viewer at home who did not enjoy what you briefed me earlier can get to know?
Well, basically, one of the key reasons that these manufacturers spend so much money on rallying is basically to develop cars that eventually get onto the road and are used by their customers. So, if you think about it, things like ABS, things like, four-wheel drives in small cars, those technologies all started off in rallying or in competition before they became mainstream. So the teams actually use the cars to the rallies to fine-tune their vehicles. Toyota, I like to tease my friends who are Subaru boys that, this is a Toyota Vitz, and, it's actually a car that is a world beater. And, the market they are aiming for, I guess, is that middle, small car market. If you go to Europe where the big markets are, people don't buy big cars, they buy small cars. They buy, 13 to 1600 cars, 1600 meter cc cars. And so maybe that's why they chose the Yaris stroke Vitz to be their flagship rally car. And so, and it's across the board. The i20 is another small, medium car. And so they are actually rallying cars that they want to market as cars for the public.
So this particular experience whereby that has raised eyebrows can actually have an impact in the design of the future Toyota? To deal with such issues? Well,
definitely they'll have to figure out what is happening. I don't think we have hybrid Yarises on the road right now.
Yes.
And if we do, it's the really fast editions. Okay. So definitely in the future we are going to see hybrid Yarises on the road. And they definitely are not going to want to sell them if they have a hitch like this. So that Safari again has shown them that you have a problem. And even Sardinia, you have a problem with water. You have to sort it out if you're going to continue to be a world beater.
Oh, Kanjan, you agree with him?
Maybe just to add Akile on to that.
Yes.
Because Kigo Karaidi, you've been an insider as far as issues motor rallying are concerned. What happened to the Mitsubishi team? What happened to the Peugeot team? The Lancia team?
Yeah.
The Subarus? Is it that they don't want to advance in terms of the technology, in terms of getting to know their competition vis-a-vis the current teams, or what?
I think the dynamics that work on those big corporations are quite myriad. There are many. Maybe the company policies are not interested in motorsport at the time. Maybe they value other sports because some of those people do other things. And it's probably just policy, just company policy. But definitely, I remember in the days we had 6 works teams. I mean, it was real competition. And who knows, maybe the FIA can reach out to these guys and tell them, come back and let's have more manufacturers. We used to call them the works teams.
Okay. let's go to Sleeping Warrior and join Daniel Mwendwa on the ground. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much. We are here at the Sleeping Warrior, where Superstage has been here. We can see the likes of Oitanak, the likes of Kel Rovanpera have already made their way here. As you can see, the fans, if my camera person will allow you to see, the fans have been here. The fans are here just celebrating the rally drivers. And just to talk to some of the few fans who are around here, Pengine, you can walk over here, you can introduce yourself and tell us since when have you been here, and how has been the race since morning, and how do you see it?
Yeah, my name is George Mudemba. I've been here in Naivasha since Thursday, following the Safari Rally race. I am enjoying it, just like every other person who is here. We have so many crowds. I was there in Kedong yesterday. There were very many people. We are now here in Sleeping Warrior, and we are enjoying because most of these guys love Safari Rally.
You are a rally fan, and how would you compare the attendance last year and this year's edition? Is the turnout higher or is it lower than last time?
Well, I would say Kedong was not very high yesterday, but I'm impressed by the crowd that has pulled up here in Sleeping Warrior. So we believe by the end of the rally, the crowds will be, there will be a lot of people watching it.
What do you expect today? Maybe who are you supporting maybe to emerge victorious today?
Of course, my rally driver, number one, is Kelly Rovanpera. He's a young guy. He's a motivation to young people. So I normally watch him throughout the calendar of the WRC. and I'm happy that I can see him very near me. He's just passed here now, and I believe that he's going to win.
We have young talents in Kenya who are participating, the likes of Jeremy Awahome, the likes of Karan Patel. Can we say that that's an assured talent, and maybe they're going to make it for international, maybe not in Kenya, but international?
Yes. The likes of Wahome and Patel, these are our talents locally, and we believe that competing in this big rally here will give them a lot of hope and motivation. And in future, we will also be looking at them competing in the WRC all over the world.
Fans have come here in large numbers. A message to young fans as a parent.
Young fans, it is good that they have come, and we enjoy this rally with them. But I would also like to ask them not to forget what they are doing. If you are in college, if you are in school, if you are working, you need to concentrate on those things. For us, we are old people. We used to watch this rally when we were young. Just do your thing, finish your college, get your work, and then you will even enjoy it better when you have done what is good for you.
KBC is bringing these events one-on-one for those who are unable to reach here. What message can you tell to all fans at home regarding to KBC hosting this event?
First of all, I want to congratulate KBC, and I want to tell those at home to always watch KBC, because KBC is our baby here in Kenya from a long time. And KBC gives us the information from the local sources. So I would encourage everybody to watch KBC.
Thank you. We're also joined by another fan. If you can just join me here, introduce yourself and tell us when you've been here, how is everything operating here?
Great. My name is Licky Tom. I work for MAN, the German machines. A great experience today, to be honest. We're looking at possibly an excellent battle between Hyundai, Toyota, the Aris, and the Ford. I mean, we're on the Sleeping Warrior stage, and the drivers, my goodness, are on a full throttle. I mean, I haven't seen this before, but I think it's going to be a good experience. We had a bit of rains. So that means that, it's not too dusty as has been the previous year. And so I believe it's a fantastic stage for spectators as well. 62 kilometers, or day 2 of the rally will be an excellent opportunity for any of the drivers to take the lead. But what we've seen today, they are serious about the mission ahead of them.
We can see you are on a branded WRC hoodie. Maybe who are you supporting today? Who do you think might carry the day? Yesterday, it was Sebastian Ogier.
Well, I work for the automotive industry. I'll choose not to mention names. I'll choose to work with the brands. I honestly think that Toyota will take it for the day. I believe that there's a huge challenge behind them, and so with the Hyundai as well, and the Ford as well. So I am very, very optimistic that by the end of the day, we might have a Toyota win again. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate it.
Okay, we're also joined by maybe you can talk to us, maybe pengine utuambie majina yako, umekuwa hapa kutoka lini, na je, mambo yamekuaje kutoka asubuhi?
Kwa majina ni Mati, natoka pande za Ruiru. Tunashukuru kuwa hapa. Tumekuwa hapa tangu juzi safari rally ilipoanza. Huu ni mwaka wetu wa 3 kuona safari kwa Kenya, na tunashukuru kwa mashabiki wote ambao wamefika hapa siku ya leo. Na kwa hakika hapa ndio mahali pa kuwa. Tunashukuru sana KBC kwa kutuletea michezo hii live, na pia tunamshukuru sana CS wetu Ababu na Mwamba pia kwa support ile ambayo government imepeana katika michezo hii. Kwa hakika kweli michezo hii inaleta ubora katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Investment imekuja kwa wingi area hii ya Naivasha, na watu wamefurahia sana.
Pengine leo unamshabikia nani?
Mimi kwanza kwa hakika namshabikia Tanka, lakini na pia namshabikia madereva wetu wale wadogo ambao wameanza kushindana na big boys. Kuna watu kama Wahome, kuna watu kama Anwar, kuna mtu kama Kimanthi ambao kweli wanakimbizana na vijana wakubwa na tunashukuru sana.
Je, ni yapi unatarajia siku ya leo? Pengine nani unafikiria ataibuka mshindi kwenye siku ya pili? Jana tumemwona Sebastian Ogier.
Mimi naona Sebastian anaweza chukua hii kitu bwana. Naona kimbiza ile gari kweli. Lakini pia tuna hope sana na vijana wetu. Sio hata sisi tunataka kushabikia vijana wetu washinde. Tunashukuru sana.
Asante. Last but not least, maybe you can join us and branded Talanta Hela. And we saw that Talanta Hela is ina support wanawake watano wa timu ya wanawake. Pengine hii ina maana gani kwa mbio za magari?
Mbio za magari tunashukuru sisi kutoka Tanzania, Arusha. Tumekuja paka huku kushabikia hii safari rally ya World. Sisi tunashabikia Sebastian. Tunafurahi sana, tuna enjoy. It's a very good idea. Tumefurahi, tumeona kila kitu kwa mpangilio. Na tunashukuru sana KBC kwa kuleta kitu live na wanaendelea vizuri kwa sababu tunapenda, tunaona kitu iko sawa. Kila kitu wao wanatuletea kitu live, tunaona kila pale. Tukiwa Arusha tunaangalia hii channel KBC.
Jana Sebastian Ogier ameibuka mshindi. Je, pengine una imani kana kwamba leo anaweza kuibuka mshindi pia?
Bila shaka na imani Sebastian atakuwa the champion of this rally sababu ni mzoefu wa terrain na kila kitu. Hata watu wale waendeshaji wadogo wa Kenya tunawashauri waendelee kukuza talanta Menengai kila pahali. Tunashabikia sana sisi kutoka Tanzania, tunafurahi sana kuona hii rally. Tumetoka kutoka Arusha tumekuja huku na tunafurahi sana. Tunaona KBC wanaweka kitu, hata tukiwa Arusha tuangalia kila kitu, the best channel kwetu sisi. Yeah.
Those were just some samples, and from here maybe we'll be going to Element Taita and keep you updated in everything that will be happening. Back to you in studio.
That's Daniel Mwendwa earlier on the ground. He's talking to Kenyans, getting the feel of it. You've been encouraged to watch KBC Channel 1. Even someone has come all the way from Tanzania, not just to watch the rally cars, but also to remind you that KBC Channel 1 is your true sports partner. Keko, very quickly, we know his favorite. Who's your favorite to win this particular? Just one name.
I'd have liked Noivelle to win it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess the second choice is Kali Rovampera.
Okay, we'll hold you to account tomorrow. It's not far. Time to make a pitch. I want to sell you something, and I think I'm not too bad a salesman. I'll switch over to Swahili so I can persuade you. Je, wajua unaweza kuhifadhi maji ya mvua kwa gharama nafuu kwa kutumia dam liners kutoka Elgon, Kenya? Maji ya dam liners hutumika kwa msimu mingi kwa umwagiliaji mimea ili kuongezea uzalishaji zaidi na hata usambazaji maji ya matumizi nyumbani. Dam liners kutoka Elgon, Kenya, watengenezaji wa Elgon Dhabiti Fertilizer. Elgon, Kenya, transforming farms and lives through technology. Kwa maelezo zaidi, piga simu kwa nambari 0717888877 ama 0733509509. I'll say that in English: 0717888877 or 0733509509. Go on and give it a go. And meanwhile, keep us company. We need every one of you out there who's not made it to Naivasha to stay glued, because in another half an hour or so, we'll be going live to the rally cars themselves, and we'll see how technology has taken over the reporting of Safari Rally as it is. You get into the cars, you'll see the driver doing his thing, you'll see the navigator, you'll hear from him talking to his driver and so on and so forth. We had a bit of that in the morning, and the response was fantastic from you. Thank you for appreciating you will have a bit more of that. Marianne Fox-Hinga, you're watching us from Nakuru. You couldn't make it to Naivasha. Thank you for choosing KBC Channel 1 TV. She says, say hi to Kego. She must be a fan of yours from your rallying days when you're a navigator.
Sijambo.
Ah, ujambo, good. The KNRC, which is the Kenya National Rally Championship, is resuming this afternoon from yesterday. Obviously, this is where our local rally drivers get to pick double points, as you pointed out, because of the prestige of the WRC, the weight that it carries. So far, what do you make of it, before we get into the nitty-gritties?
Yeah, the guys in WRC 2, Carl Tundo being one of them, and Karan Patel, who are also doing the WRC 2, are also running in the KNRC. So they are leading the event. We have not heard much about the tail-enders, and we are hoping the reporting will come soon. But I don't think there have been any significant retirements. They did the last 3 stages of yesterday, and they are going to do the last 3 stages of today. These are the guys I feel for them. My heart goes out to them, because the stages, even without the wet, get really dug up. You know, we are dealing with soft volcanic soil, rocks.
Yes.
So the stages get dug up. You know the power these WRC1 cars have. They actually dig up the road. So once they've done 2 passes of that road actually requires to be rebuilt. And then here we come, our KNRC guys back there with their old Subaru N10s and 12s. It's a real job. And then now you add the rain. Some of these guys are really going to be in pain this evening.
Kego, we have a bunch of exciting ladies out there who've attracted sponsorship from the government of Kenya. They've attracted sponsorship from private corporations. They've attracted sponsorship from KBC Channel 1. We have our very own veteran colleague, Pauline Shegu, who once a journalist, always a journalist, but now she's a rally driver of sorts. She's still in the game. We've got Natasha Tundo, who's leading the ladies' pack. We've got Tinashe Gatimu, the youngest rally driver in this safari. What do you make of the ladies so far, Kego? Daudi.
Well, just like what Kego Karedi says, we had to get those reports as yet. But of course, we'll be updating you once we get those reports. And of course, those rutted routes, like the BHP of these WRC1 and WRC2, they keep on digging deeper, like what Kego Karedi says. So it's really going to be difficult for those people, but we just pray for them to be able at least to finish the rally and look into how, of course, they'll perform in future.
Obviously, we're yet to get the KNRC beat is they haven't kicked off already for the afternoon session, I presume.
No, after this,
yes.
Yeah.
But as of close of business yesterday, what do you make of the ladies so far?
The ladies, I remember, Pauline Shegu was at number 18.
Number 18.
Number 18. The mother and the daughter, what position were they then?
This is results for section 4. Number 1 was Carl. Number 2 was Akif Virani. Number 3 was Makre Kimathi.
Yes, we'll get to the youth. Let's stick to the ladies first, because we'll come back to that. We'll actually come back. Let's get to the latest that's happening on the ground. Daniel Wahome had an interview with the rally drivers after the morning session, so this was done a bit earlier, but it's just as good as live, I suppose.
All morning similar condition, changing condition, and it was, for us just driving through, trying to enjoy. We obviously had the worst condition in the muddy sections, most of the water, no lines, so it was tough for us. But on the other hand, I enjoyed it quite a lot, driving without pressure, just getting through. See if we can catch some position in the front, but it might be very difficult. So let's get through the day and see. It was working okay today. Obviously, we are not pushing very hard. Just driving through, but the car is working fine. To say, the weather could be changeable this afternoon, so we have to go out and see. Anyhow, driving without pressure, just having fun. We doesn't care so much what weather it will be.
Mostly was quite fine. Obviously, we had some places which were very tricky. On the first one, we had couple of like slippy, muddy places, and obviously on the last one some sections with full mud and water. So, but altogether still quite a small part of the stage.
Well, at least I could check all the pace notes, so maybe second pass I can be a bit more confident that where to go and that everything is correct. But I think we did very well already for the first pass, which in the opener we lost a lot to Seb, but in the end this doesn't matter for me. But we managed to snap some time from Elfin, which was important. And then I was a bit surprised about the times on the middle stage because it didn't feel so impressive. But I guess everyone was a bit watching out all the loose rocks. And then on the last one there was proper safari spec, some muddy puddles, many times out of your control on the mud.
It was like a tricky morning. In the special last stage it was really difficult, but apart that was nice day and nice stages, but the last one was quite tricky. We try to don't take many risks, to don't have the punches, but of course at the same time you go a little bit slower in some of the places because to don't take risk and go fast is difficult. So yesterday we didn't have any puncher. Today we have like a small puncher now at the end of the last stage, but without that it was all good.
Very difficult morning group, and stage itself is even harder than yesterday. So so demanding and difficult, many things like water and rocks and everything, and going to be even more tougher in the afternoon. So going to be interesting, but I try to be survive.
It was quite okay, to be honest. First stage was a bit more tricky condition to be fast. I didn't push on the rough so much, and then the last two ones the pace was quite good, and on the long one there was a bit of water and mud, so we did quite okay time. Now pretty good. Of course Seb is pushing hard, so we are not really pushing crazy everywhere because on this rally we need to get to the finish also. But let's see what the weather will do. We don't know yet clearly what will happen.
We didn't do such a good job in the water splash, so we took on some water there, and we had to wait quite a long time for that to clear and to be able to drive again. So quite a lot of time lost, and then again in Sleeping Warrior we had a few issues in there, a puncture at the end also. So it means we've lost quite a bit during this morning loop. I mean the tyre wear hasn't been so bad, but I think looking after the tyres is still another issue from the protection from punctures. So that's still a topic at least.
A good loop. I'm happy with the morning. Good first stage, except for the puncture toward the end. We lost a bit of time in there, but still we managed to have the same gap as we started the day with Kalle. So far so good.
Good stuff. I'm told those are real superstars there that Daniel Wahome is interviewing. So his new title now is Sir. So we'll be referring to Sir Daniel Wahome. This thing of calling him Wahome, Bukuja hapa, come here. Finished. Sir Daniel Wahome.
Sir Daniel Wahome. Sir Daniel Wahome.
A new hero is born. Absolutely. Daniel Wahome. Good stuff you guys are doing on the ground there, led by our very own Mary Wavinya. Wonderful. Now, just to remind you that there is 1,000 Kenya shillings up for grabs. You could be the lucky winner. All you have to do is to get onto our Facebook page, that's the KBC Channel 1 TV Facebook page, and answer in which Kenyan town is the 2023 edition of the WRC Safari Rally being held. In which Kenyan town is the 2023 edition of the WRC Kenya Safari Rally being held. Drop us your correct answer, your mobile phone number, and also let us know where you are watching us from. Hurry. 1,000 Kenya shillings, not bad, eh? Wonderful. Before we headed out there, I don't want to say the place because I'll give away the answer. You were talking and we were discussing the ladies, Kenyan ladies to be more precise, out there participating within the Kenya National Rally Championship, in looking at the bigger picture of things, the WRC. Tinashe is so young. There's 4 particular Kenyan ladies we are looking at. And Tinashe Gatimo, who's co-driven by her mom, Caroline, is was at the end of business yesterday, or at the close of it, she was in 2nd place behind Natasha Tundo as far as the ladies are concerned. Amazing, isn't it, Daudi?
Absolutely, exactly amazing. You know, at that young age, and of course she's the one actually who's driving. These are the young talents that we need actually to improve their talents on. Of course, with the Talanta Hela.
Yes.
Because she has the passion, and the mother is supporting her. Those are the people those are the future of what WRC.
I also remember when I first did the safari, although not the WRC, there was a trophy they gave which they called the Coupe de Dames, which was a trophy for the ladies. I don't know whether they are planning to give one this year, because they definitely have ladies crews, and the ladies should be recognized.
Tinashe is doing completely well. I mean, she's really, really young. This is her first time to go out there, and to be 2nd so far, she deserves a pat on the back. And not just that, because you said the most important thing is to stay on course, and she has stayed on course. And she's ahead of more experienced Kenyan rally drivers. Of course, there is Jennifer Malik and the lady who's
Koi with a Q?
Yes, Koi with a Q. You see, that is quite confusing. It says Kikoi.
Oh,
yeah, she prefers to be referred to as Kikoi. Yes, her name is Miss Mongai. That's her surname. They are also making their mark out there. So it's quite impressive. But the fact that Tinashe is ahead of them behind Natasha Tundo, who's a very experienced rally driver and has done navigating as well, and comes from a rallying family, I think that speaks volumes of Tinashe. But when you say that they are the future, aren't they the current? Aren't they the current? Because we always talk of the youth being the future. Is this their time, isn't it? Daudi?
No, what will happen with the Tinashe, she'll end up actually being picked up by Ford Fiesta, just like what happened to Wahome and McRae. If she shows that kind of determination, and with the support from the government and well-wishers, like the sponsors, that's why I say she's actually the future. Because with better sponsorship and a better car like Ford Fiesta, she'll be able absolutely to perform well.
So they are there watching out.
They are watching out,
scouting.
Yes.
Yes.
They are scouting.
The way they scout in football, they are also scouting there.
Yes.
You're sure they're on the ground?
Oh, absolutely. And this is a young girl. I think she's 19, 18.
Hey.
Thereabout. With a lot of confidence.
They are scouts?
Yes, they are scouts, definitely.
I'm not doubting him.
And just to mention that she's line 13th out of 21 cars.
Wow.
So she's not only beating the other ladies, she's beating quite a few of the other guys.
Okay, the other guys. Now let's look at the other guys. We're looking at McRae Kimathi, we're looking at Jeremiah Wahome, we're looking at
Evans Yoka.
Yes, we're looking at the entire pack. The young Kenyan drivers. What about them?
Oh, someone like McRae has been participating in those international events. He started with the Rally Sweden. That was his first time to rally on snow, something that was quite incredible. But of course he had to go for some training, I think 1 or 2 months before, because to be able to drive on snow is quite Hercules. And of course now, the last rally that he did was Greece, and now this particular one. This is a young man who is having a lot of experience, and the way he's tackling it out, he's not crawling like Wahome. He's driving it flat out.
What do you mean by crawling? Because you mentioned that in the morning.
Crawling.
I pretended I know what you're saying.
Crawling is kind of like, figuratively, it's kind of like taking care that you don't do flat out. To kind of like wear out your tires.
You move on a lower gear.
You're being careful, but you're making sure that you know, like the guy who are ahead of you, you don't lose too much timings. You're just there.
And the guys who are behind you don't come too close to you.
Yes. You make sure that the guy behind, in terms of timings, is not overtaking you, just there, just crawling, but just to make sure that you touch that finish line, which will be tomorrow at the finale of the 19th stage. What
do you make of our young Kenyan blokes, the McRae's and Jeremiah's?
So the future is that they are very talented gentlemen, and the only, of course, drawback is the finances. You know, rallying is a very expensive sport. Some of them are self-sponsored, some of them have the support of the government. And people like Safaricom, who we really commend for doing that. But you know, if the support continues, if they continue to enter international events, I mean, I don't see why we can't see a Kenyan rallying at the top notch very soon. Okay. So it's about developing the youth, developing the younger sectors of the sport. And if you do that consistently, I mean, I don't see why we couldn't be cheering a Kenyan driving one of these top Rally 1 cars.
Okay, what of
Tiras, rallying is not easy. Because yesterday we were tackling at the history of rallying as far as Africans are concerned.
Yes.
And we realized that even 1958, there were 2 Africans who participated in that rally. And all the way up to 1968, 69, is actually when we had the first African to finish the rally. That was Peter Mnyegera from Uganda, who was co-driven by Noor Mohammed.
And they still tease us about it, the Ugandans. You know that.
Yes, and then of course, 71, we had Peter Shiuka, your friend. And your friend, and the colonial driver, the father was a colonial governor driver.
Yes, official driver.
And you realize that even from 1971, you know, like there were so many Africans who participated in the rally, whether at the WRC, you know, the likes of David Mathai Kihumba, the likes of Patrick Njiro. But it's already somewhere around 1984 when David Anunda and Patrick Njiro completed the safari. Because all the others, all the years, they were either time barred or retired. By the way, time barred, what does it mean?
Run out of time. You remember I told you about in the current rallies, you have a 30-second lateness allowance. If you are, for example, if you need to check in at Soisambu at 2 o'clock.
Yes.
If you come in at 2:30, if you come in at 2:29, you can still check in and continue rallying. If you come in at 2:30, you're time barred. So rally.
So you're time barred. Yeah. So what would be the difference between time barred and retired?
Retired, maybe your car has stopped. Maybe you have had a problem. Maybe you have, hit something. Maybe you're overheated. But the time bar, you can be motoring and just run out of time.
Oh wow! Okay. So that's the situation, because
let's get back to the ground, gentlemen. Yes. Just hold that thought. Bernard Okumu is at Buffalo Mall, and it's happening out there. I'm actually getting jealous. Talanta Hela Rally Bazaar. Bernard.
Yes, and Alan, thank you so much, Cyrus. Earlier, during the lunchtime bulletin talk, we talked about where we are, the Buffalo Mall, where the exhibition for the Talanta Hela initiative by the government, Ministry of Sports, that seeks to give young upcoming entrepreneurs a chance to exhibit their wares and merchandise. And not just only that, I have a very interesting exhibitor here, Eve Maynard, for Go Electric, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes. So Go Electric, basically, what does it mean? I can see a car behind us, but maybe can we just take a trip?
Yes, please. Let's take a trip.
Yeah. And maybe you show us how it works there.
Yes.
If this really will develop into some public service vehicles that we usually see this on the golf courses, right? Yes. So tell me about Go Electric.
All right, so Go Electric is an e-mobility business, and we are basically providing e-mobility solutions for different target markets, where we are supplying 3-wheelers, 2-wheelers, 4-wheelers, and even heavy-duty transport trucks and buses. Yes, so we provide basically e-mobility transport solutions. Yes.
And of course, looking at this particular exhibition here at the Talanta Hela, what kind of an opportunity of platform does it afford Go Electric?
Well, basically, this is bringing like-minded people to showcase their different products. And Talanta Hela is all about sustainable development among the hustler group. And what we are saying also is that, you see, with electric cars, if you're a commercial driver, you can actually acquire one at either lease or you can buy it outright, and you're able to, minimize your your operational costs. That's the right idea.
About Go Electric cars, and also maybe we can talk about more activities we are doing online. What's your name and what's about this particular interesting tent here?
Hi, my name is David Momin, engineer at House of Technology. The company was formed in 2015. I started its operation in 2016.
What does it do, basically, in a nutshell, quickly, briefly?
The mission of the company is to enable all Africans, medium, small enterprises, to participate in the digital economy. Our product Curtain Shop enables SMEs to create their online stores quickly and affordably. It's an end-to-end e-store enabler with a B2B and B2C channel value chain. It's the African Shopify.
And the name of the company again?
Curtain Shop.
Curtain Shop, of course, you have to go check out and what they really do here. So just some of the exhibitors at this particular event here, the Talanta Hela. Remember, it's also an initiative that is giving the young entrepreneurs the platform and chance to exhibit their wares. Eve, thank you so much, and people better find out about your expo.
Yes, we are also launching the Green Expo Africa. We're having the first chapter this year, and we're going to hold it annually in tandem with the WRC. And the whole idea is to bring socially conscious people to basically come and talk about the green conversation and keep the green agenda at the top of the mission.
Thank you so much. I love talking about the Talanta Hela here at the top of the world.
It's receiving a massive response, huge, from Kenyans out there. And something else that received huge response from Kenyans, 7 winners: Jared Monyancha, Bridget Bianca, Tiger Frank, Dennis Dimbu, John Cherotich, Pauline Masi Mercre. I hope I pronounced that. And Helen Kamau. You're the winners. Congratulations. 1,000. Over.